Hey guys, Dr. Adil here. So New Year's is around the corner. That means goal setting and that means trying for resolutions, but a lot of people can't stick to them. So find out why and how you can actually stick to your goals for good. So before I worked as a sports doctor, I was actually working in behavioral weight loss. So what that means is I was using cognitive behavioral therapy, which is guided therapy to help people restructure their thoughts and their relationship with food and body to create a more healthy relationship so that they can maintain and sustain their changes. So what that means is I helped guide people through their goals even when they weren't able to achieve it on their own when it comes to weight loss. Because as you know, a lot of people set goals and resolutions, but they actually have a very hard time sticking to it. So I'll go into why that is and how you can maintain behavior change for good. So first of all, what are goals? Goals are anything you want to achieve within a measurable time frame. So almost everyone has heard of what are called SMART goals. So those are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and within a certain time frame. So this actually came out in the late 80s, and ever since then, people have been using this to help others achieve goals. To me, it's kind of outdated information at this point because almost everyone knows that, and it's almost cliche to say you need to have SMART goals. So what's actually the key to long-term success? It's more than just SMART goals. The biggest key is finding out your why. What that means is you need to have a good reason that stimulates emotion inside of you to help stick to your goals long-term. So let's get into that a little bit. So what we use with our patients is something called values clarity exercise. So values clarity means you're trying to identify the root cause as to why you want to be healthier or why you want to lose weight. So let me give you an example. So I work with a mom. She was very busy. She was a single mom working 2 jobs, and she was finding it very, very challenging to lose weight. Naturally, because of her limited time, it's very difficult to do that. But at the same time, she was looking after her child who was autistic, and she was very worried about her health and not being there for him when she's older. So when we got into the values clarity exercise, we started talking about that a little bit. First I said, why do you want to be healthy? And she said, because of her son. And then I said, why is that important to you? And then she kind of got into a little bit more. She said, because he's autistic and I'm worried that there's not gonna be anyone there to look after him if something happens to me because I'm not healthy. So it's really important to my health that I'm there for him. I said, that's great. And then she got a little bit emotional as she was describing that. So you could clearly see the emotion in her when she started thinking about that really root cause as to why she wants to be healthier. So after completing the exercise, what we recommend is that she write it on a sticky note saying, I want to be healthier because I want to be there for my son, and put that on a refrigerator or put that on the mirror in the washroom so she can see it every day to remind herself why she's trying to make healthier choices in the first place. And then whenever she's in a moment of distraction, for example, if there's junk food or there's less healthier choices, she's going to do the healthier one because she's going to remind herself, I'm doing this for my son, and I'm doing this because I want to be there for him when he's older. So that's the dialogue that she needs to have whenever she's faced with difficult decisions. And then whenever she's faced with those difficult decisions, she's able to have the resolution to stay on track because she has a good motivation and reason as to why she's doing it in the first place. And that's really the key to long-term success. That's the most fundamental part. The value that you have as to why you want to be healthier has to stimulate emotion so that you stick to what you want to do, even in difficult situations. Now, say if she falls off track and she ends up giving in. The key is not to feel guilty and bad about it, but the key is to do what's called a resiliency mindset. Saying, okay, I had a fallback, I had a setback, what can I do next time to stay on track and to prevent this from happening again? So it's having that, again, internal dialogue. That's really the key to all of this long-term success. And that's really the fundamentals of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is restructuring that internal dialogue. So instead of feeling guilty and shameful when you eat something unhealthy, instead you say, okay, what can I do about this next time to prevent this from happening again? And how can I remember why I'm doing this in the first place to remind myself in those difficult situations so I don't fall off track? A lot of people ask me, how do I stick to eating healthy and how do I work out 5 days a week, even with working 60, 70 hours a week, doing the side businesses I'm doing and all that other stuff. So for me, it's because it's part of my identity and it's because of who I am as a person. I don't want to do anything against that. I identify myself as a healthy, fit individual, and I'm going to do behaviors that align with that underlying identity. So you have to identify as that person that you want to be, and if you don't, that's where a skilled therapist who's trained in cognitive behavioral therapy can help you to form that identity. So not everyone can do this on their own, and in fact, that's why there's a lot of therapists who specialize in this area because there's so many people struggling with goal setting and weight loss and becoming healthier. There's a reason why coaching and personal training industry is booming. So don't feel bad if you need someone to help you. In fact, I encourage it for most people because the reality is it's very challenging to do on your own. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and hopefully you learned something practical. Please share this with someone who you think may be struggling. You can save this video. There are some really important points in here about cognitive behavioral therapy and applying that to your life on a daily basis, because that is the fundamental key principle to long-term behavior change. Please subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.